Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's top news stories in NPN.
Hello, I'm Connor Lenny.
And I'm Alfonso Felix. Thank you for joining us.
So, Alfonso, I hear we have some interesting stories today. Let's see what's trending.
And here we go.
Well, to start us off in the Democratic GOP election, we have Bernie Sanders leading the polls in Iowa over Hillary Clinton.
Looks as if Hillary's needing some help from former President Bill Clinton. Also, another headlining story is from a recent study in collaboration with Facebook.
A study of 857 people shows the wealthy are having less friends internationally compared to, per se, a normal middle-class U.S. citizen.
Wow. Comes to show social status and wealth aren't a completely even ratio.
Now our top story of the day involves the differences in today's social classes and how we can still see the overlaps from the clash between the rich and the poor today compared to how it was in history. A headlining story that represents this issue is the water contamination with Flint, Michigan.
In Flint, Michigan, they started using cheaper water from Flint River to supply the city. This caused many people, including children, to have lead poisoning. Now, to relate this problem to the reactions from society, our top interviewer, Katie Storm, got a chance to interview people of different social classes around town.
Hello, Katie Storm here on The Streets, where I get to hear the opinions of different citizens on poverty and the social class. Excuse me, may I spend a few minutes getting to hear your opinion on some major topics in the U.S. today? So, where do you think you stand today in terms of a modern social class pyramid?
Well, me and my lovely wife here are very hardworking in our occupations and earn just enough to support our two kids. I would say we're a strong middle-class family, honestly.
Are you aware of the water crisis in Flint, Michigan? If so, what are your opinions on the situation, and how do you relate it to the differences in the social class?
Well, yeah, I do know about that situation. I feel really bad for them. I'm glad we're not in a situation like that. I mean, the people that are in such debt that they're having to use the only water source they can. It's obviously not very good.
Now, would you say we still live in a world where the top class overrules the lower classes?
Yeah, they do, but not compared to the way it was thousands of years ago. I mean, I still feel like those who are wealthier today have more privileges and live in what I would say is a more elegant lifestyle than what my family and others live in.
Okay, thank you for your insight. What is everyday life like for you?
I have a very low-paying job, and I can't really afford to keep supporting my one son with food and keeping up with paying bills.
Are you aware of the Flint, Michigan water crisis?
Yes, and I feel bad for those dealing with the contamination and the scarce support they are receiving from their own mayor. These are people just like anyone else, and they should be given the same care. Now, I realize we are now taking a stand to help, and I think that's very, very good.
Well, I gotta keep moving, but I'm glad to hear from you. With us today, we have a very special guest. Hello, Mr. Trump.
Congratulations, you're speaking to Donald Trump.
What do you think, and how do you think social classes play out today?
I think people who aim high are going to have a greater chance of being rich, while those who are just petty have the outcomes that they deserve.
Is there any way to change this class system for the better?
Yes, but everyone must take responsibility. This is a modern world, and it must encompass a class system. We need to be focusing on greater problems, such as immigration in this country.
What is your perspective on the Flint water crisis?
Oh, it's just terrible. It's a shame. But again, I'll have no comment on this topic. As usual, vote for Trump. I'll be fantastic. And let's make America great again. As usual, it's been an honor speaking with me. It really has.
Thank you again. Now back to you in the booth, guys.
Getting to hear reactions and words from people, especially Mr. Trump, have related to social class differences about today and the past, and that gave us a different insight, which brings in our special guest and chief analyst, Dr. Louis Skalog.
Economic instability and opposition to its structure is not unique to the 21st century America. Social status has been an ongoing source of conflict in the country of France in the second millennium in this common era. We have the societal breakdown in King Louis XIV's reign, which separated the aristocracy from the peasantry. We have also the 1830 and 1848 revolutions in France, which pitted the socialist-leaning working class against the middle class after the industrialization of France. But between these times was the pivotal event called the French Revolution. Leading up to this chaos and overthrow was the fact that the aristocracy had wealth in many forms, while the poor bitterly felt the effects of repeated crop failures and the extravagant riches of the royal family. The U.S. today is dealing with the same problem of navigating the tall national debt and the revolutionizing agricultural techniques, such as the advent of genetic engineering of the food supply. Many are upset when finding that the poor are so ignored. Political liberalism aims to enhance social reforms to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. Conservatives, who advocate for free trade, shun the new policies that are said to introduce socialist ideologies.
Thank you so much for your time, Doctor. Well, we're pressed for short on time here, but our last story tonight is Oreo's new exclusive cinnamon roll flavor, now in selected stores.
Yummy, yummy. Well, thank you for watching today. As our news portrays, go out and take one big step towards helping someone and spread a little love, no matter who you are or may be.
Good night, America. Stay classy.